Hello, dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to the daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings. And on this cricket show, there are two T20 matches which I'm going to talk about. One is India en route on their tour of England, playing two T20 matches. Today was the first T20 between India and Ireland at Malahide, and India had an easy victory. India had, courtesy of a 160 runs partnership in 16 overs between Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, the Indian openers, with Rohit Sharma missing the century by just 3 runs and Shikhar Dhawan making 74. India totaled 208 for 5. And Ireland, they definitely started off in blazing fashion, but Ireland could not, sustain it. And then the Indian spinners into business. Kuldeep Yadav in particular was the man of the match. Got into business, and the Irish batsman knew little about the deliveries that Kuldeep Yadav was bowling, and the Ireland were restricted to 132 for 9 of the 20 overs, and India won the match by 76 runs. At the other side, as I said, Australia were playing a solitary T20 before departing, I reckon, to Zimbabwe, where Pakistan, Zimbabwe and Australia will contest the T20 Tri-Series, I reckon. And as far as that was concerned, England had Joss Buttler opening the innings. He rammed the Australian bowlers to all parts of the field by notching up the fastest half century by an Englishman in T20 matches, which was standing in the name of the former player Ravi Bopara, which was 50 of 23 balls. But Buttler eliminated that record today by smashing 50 of just 22 deliveries. So Joss Buttler, thanks to that smashing knock from Joss Buttler, England racked up 221 for 5. But I thought the Australian innings was really put to life by the captain himself, Aaron Finch, who slammed the English bowlers in a very merciless manner. Especially he targeted Moeen Ali, whom he targeted by hitting out of his 6 sixes. He hit 5 sixes of Moeen Ali and 3 fours. So that will tell you. And he tried his best, but even though Ashton Agar contributed 29 and tied 20, but with Aaron Finch being gone, caught Jordan Ball Rashid for 84, the challenge really ended when Aaron Finch was out for 84. But nevertheless, I thought Australians did a good job there, but unfortunately England were the victors by 28 runs. So Australia not having any victory under their belt after coming to England. So these are the two matches, and then time permitting we'll have a look at some cricket news. But first, let's talk about the first T20, India versus Ireland at Malahide. And if you look at the Indian card, the Indian innings started off in a sort of a really hurried manner, and Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan were spotting the ball like eagles, one could say, and they were really hitting the Irish bowlers all across the park, and nobody could really get a handle on them. Chase, Rankin, Thompson, and Kevin O'Brien, probably Dockrell to a certain extent was doing a good job, along with I think Kevin O'Brien, but again it was all it was just a matter of a fleeting time, one could say. And Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan just combined in hitting boundaries and sixes at absolute will, as they put on a 160 runs partnership in 16 overs for the first wicket, which really set a big platform for the other Indian batsmen to go and ram home the advantage. As this was going on, the contribution from Shikhar Dhawan was 74 of 45 deliveries, which included 5 fours and 5 sixes. Rohit Sharma missing the century by just 3 runs. He was bowled by Chase for 97 of 61 deliveries, which included 8 fours and 5 sixes. Raina contributed 10 runs of just 6 deliveries with 2 fours. Dhoni made 11. Probably they could not really get on with business. Probably they could have still made 230 odd runs with the cushion given of 160 for no loss in 16 overs. But one thought that India, I think Chase came back in a strong fashion by getting the wickets of Raina, Dhoni, and Sharma. I think it was Dhoni, Sharma, and Kohli that he took the wickets. Kohli did not come. They decided to send in Dhoni and Hardik Pandya ahead of him. In fact, Chase took 3 wickets in the final over when he dismissed Raina for 10, Dhoni for 11, Kohli for a not, and Pandya was not out on 6 with a solitary 6. And India, as I said, thanks to that opening partnership from Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, India went and sat on a total of 208 for 5, which was always a good total on this particular wicket with small boundaries. Small ground, small boundaries. If you look at the bowling card for the Irish bowlers, Rankin 4 overs, none for 34. Chase would have been very happy with this effort, even though he picked up the wickets in the final over. 3 gem of a wickets he picked up, one could say, because 4 overs, no maiden, 35 runs on 4 wickets. His returns, Chase. Thompson 2 overs went for 31. Kevin O'Brien 3 overs for 36 with 1 wicket. Dockrell, as I said, initially bowled a bit well, but later on the Indian bowlers charged him. 4 overs, none for 40. Simi Singh bowled only 1 over where Dhawan hit him for a 6, 1 over for 12 runs, and Sterling 2 overs, none for 16. Now Ireland were given a target of 209 runs to win, and looking at the card there, definitely the start was not good. Jasprit Bumrah sending Sterling on his way to the pavilion pretty quickly for just 1 run. But Shannon was living, I would say, he was living a charmed life, because he was dropped a few times and he just lived a charmed life. I think he was dropped 2 or 3 times. But Shannon continued to benefit, and Shannon today actually, if I'm not wrong, he was making his debut. I'm just trying to check over that. No, Shannon has already made his debut. So Mark Shannon, his name, and he was, I wouldn't say very impressive, but I would say he just enjoyed his life there in slamming boundaries and sixes, and he slammed 60 of 35 deliveries with 5 fours and 4 sixes before Kuldeep Yadav, the best bowler today, throttled him and had his wicket by LBW. Now Andy Balbirnie could make only 11 runs of 14 deliveries. So it was all about Shannon. Shannon was the only man who really got to terms with the Indian bowlers by hitting them for 4s and 6s. But after that, the Indian spinners took over. The pair of Yuzvendra Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav, which is a very successful pair, as you all know, really gave a very tough time to the Irish batsmen, especially Kuldeep Yadav's deliveries were not properly judged. They were not really able to pick him up, and he kept on taking wickets. Balbirnie was stumped. Dhoni bowled Chahal for 11 of 14 deliveries with 1 4. Simi Singh was a victim of Kuldeep Yadav for 7 of 10 balls with 1 4. Wilson, the captain, tried to leave his crease and tried to up the tempo to get some quick runs. It resulted in Chahal actually fooling him and Dhoni whipping off the bail. So Dhoni stumped, bowled Chahal for 5 for Gary Wilson, the captain. Kevin O'Brien, who is always a danger man, as we all know, but he could make only 10 runs of 5 balls with 1 6. Thompson out for 12 of 8 balls with 1 4. Pointer 7 bowled by Kuldeep Yadav. Dockrell was Furniture was disturbed by Bumrah, out for 9, clean bowled. Rankin not out, 5 chase. And in the end, as I said, barring Shannon, nobody could get terms to the Indian bowlers, especially the spinners in the middle totally played havoc there. And the Irish team was kept to 132 for 9 of the 20 overs, and India won by a big margin of 76 runs. Kumar, 4 overs, none for 16. Bumrah, as usual, doing his job, 4 overs, 2 for 19. Hardik Pandya went for plenty when Shannon actually really thrusted him for boundaries and sixes. 4 overs, none for 36. Chahal, 4 overs, 3 for 38. But Kuldeep Yadav took the man of the match award. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 21 runs and 4 wickets, splendidly bowled by Kuldeep Yadav. And I thought the Irish batsmen really had a lot of difficulty in picking up Kuldeep Yadav, the Chinaman bowler. It's a rarity in international cricket, as we all know. But other than that, Ireland could have done much better than this. As I said, with only Shannon, that too, really surviving, one could say, to make 60. Well, dear fans, so from here, let's get on to the next T20, which you're talking about Australia versus England, the solitary T20. And this match was played between England and Australia. England were the ones who batted first here at Birmingham. And England got off to a real flyer. There's no doubt about it. With Butler in the middle, who would not expect a flyer? As you know, Butler, they decided to open with Josh Butler and Jason Roy, with Morgan and Hales coming down, Hales and Barstow coming down the order. And definitely Jason Roy, as you know, he makes batting look very easy with his supple wrists and the way he actually drives the ball and lofts the ball. Butler, on the other hand, playing all those ram shots, the scoop shots, and all whatever that he has in the repertoire. And I know Butler is really is getting a lot of importance now in English cricket, no doubt. And he definitely, made it count absolutely right from the beginning, as he absolutely lashed 61 runs of 30 deliveries, 6 fours and 5 sixes. And some of his shots that he hit, he was hitting it over the long on region, and sometimes he also nicely, when Billy Stanley probably erred on the side when he actually wanted to bowl a Yorker, probably in short, but Butler was so alert, he went on to the back foot and he put him over extra cover, drove him over extra cover for 6, and as I said, that was a stupendous shot. And Josh Butler also broke the record, now holds the record for the fastest 50 in T20s for England by making 50 of just 22 deliveries, eclipsing the long-standing record of Ravi Bopara, who actually had hit a 50 in 23 deliveries. So Butler contributed, Butler and Jason Roy ran absolute riot there in 8.5 overs. So basically, if you look at it, it's in 53 deliveries. They rammed 95 runs for the first wicket, with Jason Roy contributing 44 of 26 deliveries with 6 delightfully timed boundaries. And Josh Butler was simply a tremendous innings from Josh Butler, as he made 61 of just 30 deliveries, which included 6 fours and 5 sixes. Morgan made 15 of 8 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Today, Sweepson, the leg spinner, made his Mitchell Sweepson, the leg spinner, actually going on to make his T20 debut. And one thought he bowled very well. I mean, for his first stint in international cricket, I thought he did well. He picked up the important wicket of Josh Butler for 61. He also got the captain Morgan in his grasp, caught tie bowled Sweepson for 15 of 8 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Alex Hales hammered 49 of just 24 deliveries, 5 fours and 2 sixes to us, and he did a good job as well. Joe Root's contribution was 35, was run out for 35, 24 deliveries, 4 fours. And then Barstow pasted 14 of 8 unbeaten runs with 2 sixes. Moeen Ali not out, not. And the England innings, thanks to Butler's pyrotechnics, the score stood at 221 for 5 of 20 overs. As far as the bowling was concerned, Stanley was totally hit beyond recognition today, because his 3 overs, especially Butler, went after him like a hare. Billy Stanley, 3 overs, went for 44 with 1 wicket. Ashton Agar, 4 overs, none for 34, bowled semblance of respectability. Mitchell Sweepson was impressive in his first stint in international cricket, his T20 debut, 4 overs, 2 for 37. Kane Richardson went for plenty. His 4 overs went for 59 runs. Andy Tye, 4 overs, none for 37. And Stoinis bowled 1 over for 9. Now, 222 was always going to be a very, very big task for the Aussies. And, if you look at the card there, DRC Shaw's wicket was claimed by Plunkett for 16 of 12 balls. And the person who really, they lost a lot of wicket. Jordan was bowling very well. Glenn Maxwell made only 10 runs, bowled by Jordan for 10 of 7 with 1-4. Travis Head's wicket was taken by Moeen Ali, 15 of 10 balls with 1-4. Carey was bowled by Rashid for 3, and Stoinis was out for naught. Now that really left this Aussie innings in a real tizzy at 72 for 5 in the 9th over, and it was only thanks to Aaron Finch that they really gave a good fight. I mean, they really chased hard. It was only thanks to the partnership between Aaron Finch and Ashton Agar who really gave something to cheer about, as it was an 86-run partnership, but it was only thanks in the main to Aaron Finch who really went berserk. In fact, he went after Moeen Ali big time. The Moeen Ali, the spinner, was targeted with Aaron Finch's contribution being 84 of 41 deliveries with 7 fours and 6 sixes, out of which 5 sixes were hit of the bowling of Moeen Ali and another 3 boundaries as well. And Ashton Agar, he made 29 of 23 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. But as I said, once Aaron Finch was gone with the score on 158 in the 16th over, it was always going to be very tough with only Ashton Agar and Andy Tye at the crease. Ashton Agar did his bit, contributed 29 of 23 deliveries, 3 fours and 1 6. Andy Tye's contribution was 20 of 11 with 2 sixes, but again they could not carry it on further. So as I said, as long as Finch was there in that sort of punitive mood that he was, one could have probably said that Australians could have probably gone much closer than what it was, but nevertheless it didn't happen. Kane Richardson was victim of Jordan for not sweeps and remained not on 3. Stanley was caught Morgan ball Plunkett for 7, and the English, the Aussies were bowled out for 193, and England winning the solitary T20 by 28 runs, and Australia returning winless on the tour of England, which has never happened in the past, I am told. So that's not a really very good feeling for the Aussies for sure. But talking about the bowling card here, Willie 4 overs 1 for 31. Jordan, I thought, bowled well, 4 overs 3 for 42. Liam Plunkett 3.4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 34. But Rashid was impressive. He also collected the man of the match award, 4 overs, no maiden, 27 runs and 3 wickets. Moeen Ali, as I said, really got a lot of battering from Aaron Finch's bat, and he ended up with figures of 4 overs, no maiden, 58 runs and 1 wicket. So that really sums up everything as far as these 2 T20 matches were concerned today. As far as cricket news is concerned, I can definitely say a survey was done by the ICC, and it says that 90% of the people, 90% of the public, are a billion fans, 90% in the subcontinent love. I mean, they reveal that 90% of the games wants the T20 to be a part. 90% of fans in subcontinent says that T20 should be a part of the Olympic Games. Basically, it's a survey which was done, and in the survey they have come to the conclusion that the ICC have revealed over 1 billion fans, 90% in the subcontinent, which is quite some time. So the subcontinent, if you say it's India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, they want cricket in the Olympics. So you could just imagine what a great fan following they have as far as T20 cricket is concerned. I think it's a great thing. I think ICC has done a great job by actually going and surveying as to see what really is going on as far as T20 cricket is concerned. Other than that, Alzari Joseph, the West Indian bowler, is back from back injury, and the former ace and the former great player Sachin Tendulkar has said India right now has a very balanced attack when they play on England. He says it's the best pace attack that you've seen, having a great balance. He says Ishan Sharma is a tall bowler, Umesh Yadav for great pace, Bhuvneshwar Kumar for swing, and Jasprit Bumrah as the strike bowler. So it's an awesome combination that Sachin Tendulkar has said that India have for the England tour, and that's really refreshing to know about that. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's about time for me to have the wind up now on this cricket show. So it's good night from Ram Studios. Thank you.